Most anticipated game of 2015? You're going to find out here pretty quick. I'm Nate Best, TheHolyFragger.
And this is Taylor Beams, the Killa 77, and this is The Rundown.
All right, GameFragger.com. We recently had the most anticipated game as voted by the fans, and the winner was?
It was Batman Arkham Knight. It was pitted up against 16 or 15 other games, and it came out on top. And of course, no brainer, right?
A no-brainer, especially if you're a comic fan or into comic book movies, which I have a feeling a lot of the people that voted on that poll were. So, reasons for most anticipated game. M rating, anything to do with that?
The previous two games were T rating, and this one is going to be M rating. I think it's largely in part of, well, in the previous games you have, what, just a few villains? Well, in this last one, they're really pulling out all the stops. You're going to have the Scarecrow, Two-Face, the Riddler, and many other villains all up against Batman. And not to mention the Batmobile is going to be pretty sweet in this one. Yeah,
there's been some great footage of that. The M rating, in my opinion, is probably going to be more for the villains. You know, maybe we'll see Batman break his rule. Maybe he'll kill somebody. We saw Superman do it in Man of Steel, but I have a feeling that's the way it's going to go. It's going to be for the thugs and the villains. Another big reason, most anticipated game, is got a track record, right? It's got a couple games before it that have done really well.
Done awesome.
A lot of fun to play. I've spent a lot of hours, especially with the first one.
Me too.
So previous games, it's got that coming up, and we've got someone returning for the voice.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy is Batman. What do you think about that?
Kevin Conroy is probably not just in my opinion, but a lot of other people that I've spoken with and that I hear about is the single best voice of Batman ever. So really excited that he's back. He does a great job. He is the Batman. So Kevin Conroy's back, and not only that, we've got a little something for everybody.
Yeah, we have a trailer that previewed a week ago. It's pretty awesome.
So new trailer. Check it out.
It started with a meeting. Everyone was there. Scarecrow said he had a plan, that together we could take you out. And Gotham would be ours.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea.
Remnants of Gotham, I have messages for you all. To the vandals who stayed behind to pick the still warm flesh from Gotham's bones, have your fun. You are under my protection. To the cowards quaking behind the police department's walls, you will not be spared. And to Batman, I have already won. Emptied your city with a vial of toxin and a few threatening words. That's how little the safety you provided was worth. And when the dawn comes, when Gotham lies in ruin and I turn my gaze to the world beyond, the legend of the Batman will be worth nothing at all.
On to our Destiny update.
Oh, yeah.
So this week, finally, the Nightfall, it's back to its old ways. We've got arc burn. Last week there was no burn. Huge pain in the rear to do that. This week we've got arc burn, and somebody finally got something that's been on many Destiny players' wish lists, and his dry streak is finally over. What did you get, Taylor?
So after 2 weeks straight of getting skunked, getting crappy legendary shotguns, and nothing that I can actually use, as far as my preferences go, I finally, first try on the Nightfall, got the The Gallahorn.
The Gallahorn. And actually one of our other guys got the truth. So 2 exotic rocket launchers right out of the gate the first time we did the Nightfall. So it started off well. One of our other players also was really excited. He finally got an exotic weapon. And you know what, we're just going to show you what it was. We couldn't help but laugh. He was really excited. He kind of felt bad when we were laughing. But he'll have fun with that, just dinking around with it, doing bounties probably.
I'm not even going to mention the name of it. You can just see the picture and just laugh at it with us.
Oh, that got so bad. All right, the 1.1.1 update that came out last week. We've had a while to play with it now. And so as many of you know, the assault rifles got nerfed, the pulse rifles got buffed, and the shotguns for PvE got buffed. The heroic matchmaking was added, and overall a pretty good update in my opinion. What do you like about it?
I'd have to say the pulse rifles. I've had the bad juju for a while, and with that damage increase, I've really noticed that it's done a lot better and handled the enemies a lot better, especially with the perk that once you kill someone, it just reloads the magazine and it just kind of just mows down the people now.
I will say I wasn't a huge fan of bad juju. I've had it for a little while. It's kind of been sitting on the back shelf, and so I pulled it out last night during the Nightfalls and the heroic strikes, and I actually got the perk, the stability perk. And I love that gun now.
Yeah, it's
I didn't like it before, but now that it's not kicking all over the place, I love it.
Yeah.
So
and you've been toying around with the shotgun in PvE, haven't you?
Shotguns. I love the shotguns. Oh my gosh, they're so much more fun now. I actually went through a point right after the update where I had dual shotguns. So I had a shotgun for my primary, shotgun for my secondary for my special weapon, and it was a ton of fun. It especially brings down the big bosses faster to get things done. So shotguns are a lot of fun. I'm kind of not a big fan of the heroic matchmaking. I do like that it's there, but I wish it was an option, because I know that we've had times where somebody's not on yet, or we're going to start, or someone's just getting finished, and having to have other players jump in there when you've got other people that you want to play with is kind of a pain.
I really think that just as far as the heroic matchmaking goes, the option to opt out of the matchmaking would benefit everyone. That way you get to play with the people that you want to play with, or if you just want to hop on, get your 9 strange coins and leave, then that's cool too. Yeah,
let's be honest, before I had any friends, I didn't have anyone to play with. I would have used the matchmaking. Now that I've got friends and I'm world famous, well, yeah, not really. I had to buy everybody Destiny for Christmas. But now I've got people to play with. So other than that, improvements for the game that we'd like to see now. We kind of mentioned this. We've talked about this a bunch. One of my big pet peeves is that the weekly heroic and the weekly Nightfall are the same. That drives me nuts, especially if you've got 2 or 3 characters that you've got to run through everything. It gets old really fast. That's probably one of my biggest pet peeves.
No, I agree too, that it gets old really fast, especially if you have 3 characters and that's, you're running it 6 times, same thing. It just gets sort of tedious. For me, I know a lot of people have said this, but I would love more story. Destiny has the plan for Destiny is over 10 years. So I would just like to see more of the story in there instead of having us just go to the Grimoire and have to read it. That's just sort of one of my pet peeves.
Bungie, most people don't like to read. Come on. It's un-American.
And that's why we buy the video games, so we don't have to read.
That being said, the Grimoire, if you dig into that, there is a lot of stuff in there, and it is actually pretty cool. There are stories behind almost all of the different weapons, some other characters that you'll hear about in the Grimoires, especially Thorn's got a pretty cool story with it if you dig into that. So we've got several people that just got the Thorn bounty and finally got Thorn, and it's a pretty cool gun and pretty cool story. One thing that I would like to see, and I don't know, it's probably because I'm lazy, but I'd like to be able to equip more than one exotic, especially a weapon. My perfect world would be an exotic heavy weapon and then either a heavy special or a heavy primary. Now that I've got weapons for all three, it's kind of a pain switching them all around. So that would be nice, but then again, you can just switch mid-game, which is nice.
Yeah, as far as the armor goes, you don't really notice a whole lot of the different perks, but for all of us who are switching in between different exotic weapons to match up with a solar enemy or an arc enemy, it's just kind of tedious, especially when you just want to kill them so badly. And so just having that option, a few more exotic weapon slots to allow us to just mow down people would be awesome. What about 6 players on strikes? What do you think about that?
I know that for 3 players seems to be too few. And, it kind of goes back to we've got several people that we play with now that we having to ditch some of our friends or split up into different groups just to play the same missions that we're going to be playing anyways. So I would say anywhere from 4 to 6 players in your fire team, at least for the strikes. Put it on par with the raids, which the raids are harder, but, the strikes can be, especially Nightfall, can be a pain in the rear too. But, the fun that we have is everybody playing together.
Yeah.
And so, the more people you can play with, I think that's the better and it's more fun. Story, I don't know. I could go, I could leave that at 3. That's probably fine. The story missions are usually easy and you can go through them fast. But definitely for the strikes, it would be nice to have more players.
And I would like to see also, just to throw this in, is in the multiplayer, if you have a group of friends, you should be allowed to play against your friends, just 3v3 or whatever, instead of having to always matchmake with different groups. And, because each group has different strategies and stuff like that. So I think it would just be fun to take a group and just go PvP against each other.
Yeah, private matchmaking. Adult Jeezy really needs a shotgun put in his face. He's talking so much trash.
Tons of smack.
So, with that, actually, one other thing, vault space.
Yeah.
This didn't used to be an issue for most of us either, but now that we've been playing for a while,
we want it. We want it.
There's not enough room in the vault. I mean, we don't even have 3 level 32s like some of the cool people out there.
Yeah.
So, vault space would be awesome. I know that's requested a ton just by the community on the forums. You see that a lot. That would be nice. The app is a great addition. I love the app.
I love the app too, being allowed to take all your materials, your weapons, switch them around between guys, especially when you're in a raid or you're on a strike and you just need a sniper rifle or something like that. That just makes it so much better, so much easier. So well done, Bungie. Thank you for that app.
Yeah, great app. I love the app. With that, Taylor, do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I guess. Let's do this.